Hear an interesting story. So I had to fast all day today because I went to the doctor for just a regular physical, and they
Okay.
took my blood. And I've had my blood taken before, and it's not that big of a deal. But the lady missed my arm 3 times, and it hurt. it was
Damn.
it was ridiculous. I was like, first of all, I was like, ow. And then she's like, oh, did I hurt? And I was like, yeah. And then she goes, oh, I have it. And then she's like, no, I don't have it. And I was like, make up your mind. Seriously, come on. And so I was like, she ended up stabbing me one arm twice. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Your thing is going to bruise. And I was like, thanks, lady. You really made my day, bruising my arm like that. So, whatever. So, we're live. Hey, guys. Welcome to Pixel Pints.
I didn't hear the music.
You're not going to hear the music. That's why you got to watch the stream.
And
so you
not
know when I
anymore.
flip the window, that you know that we flipped the window. So, welcome to Pixel Pints. We are the only global gaming podcast that talk about two great things, which is good beer and video games. And I am your host, Mitch. McWomble is out for the weekend. Have fun with some house hunting. He should go on that HGTV show. Like, if there's a British version, I'm sorry, not British. I got yelled about that last week. I'm sorry. If there's a UK version, he should go on it and do a house hunter. That's what he should do. But anyway,
there's gotta be.
British would be okay.
No.
You just don't mix up English versus British.
Well,
that's the issue.
But I don't think he's British or in Britain. I don't know. Anyway,
Sorry, McWomble. Yeah, he's British. He's British.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. Anyway, so I'm your host, Mitch, hosting from what is usually sunny, but now is dark because it is 12 in the morning in LA. And I am joined by a person who's only one state over in Viva Las Vegas, Burkoff.
I thought you were gonna say mesquite. I was like, that's close enough.
How are you doing?
Oh, not too bad. Happy to be back. I'm sad that I missed the last episode with Dan just rattling off all those different pitches to make different games into RTSs or strategy games.
Yes, his special talents.
Yeah.
I saw like after like the second pitch, he was on a roll. I saw the fire in his eyes. Like there's nothing we can't throw at this guy that he's gonna turn into like a decent elevator pitch on a tactics version of said
it was a snowball.
Game genre.
There was no stopping it. It kept going and kept getting bigger and bigger.
No, you over there in the back. Give me a game.
I was on my way.
Or what's the other game? It's not Limbo. What's the other game that they made? It was Limbo and then
Inside.
Yeah.
It's just like Inside. Spoiler. No. I guess it's it came out too late. It's been out for years. Whatever. But Inside, there's a sequence where a bunch of bodies just keep rolling together and form this giant ball. That's what I imagine with Dan.
That's what he turns into.
I was on my way home. I was driving home listening to the last episode, and I was like, just add a grid and make it, turn based. And then Dan was like, you got to add a grid, and then.
It's almost like you two need to collaborate. That's what he's basically saying.
I get you too, Burkoff, because there have been shows that I haven't been on, and there's been a topic, and you're like reaching through the radio, or you know what I mean, reaching through the radio, and just like, no, I gotta get in there, but you can't.
Yeah.
You can't, man. You can only listen.
Because he didn't show up.
That's funny.
He didn't show.
Yeah.
And now all the way to the land of the rising sun, which probably is, I think it's rising actually right now, or risen.
I mean, it's going to be setting in about 2 hours. The sun sets.
The land of the setting sun. Yeah. It is Evan from Japan. How are you doing?
Good. Going to spend most of this weekend playing a game where I'm talking to high school students at a private high school in Japan, and then I'll wake up at 6 a.m. on Monday morning and go to work and talk to a bunch of private high school students. So it's really good to basically think about work while you on the weekends. Is what I'm trying to say. Other than that, I'm doing okay. Awesome. Drinking beer, that's good.
Yeah. Like I said, we are the only global gaming podcast that do two great things, which is talk about great beer and video games. Please drink responsibly. We are not sponsored by any beer company, but we would definitely take your money. Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
We would take the money to review your beer. We'd be happy to do so. So if you want to, just contact us. All of us are via Twitter. So you can contact us actually on Twitter at pixel_pints or on Instagram at pixelpintspod. You can find us streaming live on twitch.tv/pixelpints every single weekend. I think we haven't missed a weekend in a while, so I can say that for certainty that we do every single weekend. Awesome.
Thanks to you, Mitch.
I do my best, which we do archive on Twitch, but we also do archive on YouTube. If you go to YouTube and look up Pixel Pints, find the white mug, and you're good. You're good. And we are also wherever you get your podcasts. So if you just look up Pixel Pints there, you'll find us there as well. So let's get on started with beers. Now, because my mother is here tomorrow, or as of today, I will not be drinking. I do not want to show up to my mother hungover. So, I'm just, she'd be very.
My son's losing his way in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
You gotta come back home to Wisconsin.
Yeah, it'd be that, and then it would also be like, seriously, you're gonna get drunk when I just showed up for the first time in 2 years. So yeah, let's just not.
Yeah,
let's not do that.
You're smart.
Only you have to get drunk with mom, and then it's okay.
No, she doesn't really drink.
Oh, okay. It was worth a shot.
If anything, they get drunk off wine.
Okay.
So not for it's not this kind of show. So, anyways, Evan, what you drinking?
So I'm drinking a Asahi beer, but different from the usual Asahi Super Dry, the giant, bold, black type silver can. And I wasn't actually familiar with this beer because basically the big four companies all make pilsners. They have to think of these like limited time gimmicky things from time to time in order to sell more beers, get more eyes on their beers. It's a really big push and pull. Mostly with Asahi and Kirin. I think Kirin might be on top right now. But there's a thing called the Dry Wars back in the 90s. You should look it up. It's actually pretty interesting. So this beer came out, and I actually like the can because I do like a good Japanese font. And the blue font on this can, it just says Asahi Nama beer, and that just means draft. So it says Asahi draft beer. It's called the Maru F. And Maru F is just Maru is a circle, so it's circle F, and that stands for Fortune Phoenix, I guess. So the history with this beer is it was released in 1986 as a draft beer. So basically, as close as you can get to a actual pint of beer from a keg in the can, right? And actually, I believe the cold filtering process used in MGD, Miller Genuine Draft, is a Japanese technology. Like, they figured out the cold filtering system. And I think the only two beers that do draft beer properly are the Guinness can and MGD in the States. I don't know if it's different in Japan. But actually, I actually looked it up before the show, that any beer in Japan that has draft beer on it, all that means is that it's just not pasteurized. So they have to find a different way to do that to give it that actual, like, out of the keg smoothness, or however you want to describe a proper pint of beer versus a can. So I'm guessing they use the cold filtering process as well. Do I know what that means? No, I fucking looked it up about 2 hours ago. But whatever. If you're interested, you can look it up. So yeah, basically all they did was like, hey, we're bringing back. That's right, you guessed it. The 1986 Fortune Phoenix beer, and all these old men are like, I remember that, and they buy it for a limited time, I guess. Apparently, this is the original label as well, and this font is very 80s, like late 70s, kind of 80s font. So yeah, it's just this limited time. It's like PBR, like an old school PBR can, limited time, whatever, right? It's just a marketing thing. And it's got all this flowery language on here about the history and stuff, and then you taste it, and it's like, this tastes like Asahi Super Dry, so who knows, right? Once you've had one Pilsner, you've had you've had them all. I'm referring to Japanese dry, very dry, like straw-colored Pilsner beers. They're all very similar. However, I mean, it's good. It's really refreshing. It's been hot in Japan recently. The one thing is, does it have cornstarch in it? Yes, it does. It also has rice, which I am not a fan of. What's that?
I thought most adjunct lagers had rice flake, like corn.
Yeah, they do, and basically all of the top 4 beers, Asahi Super Dry being one of them, all have cornstarch in them. The only one that doesn't, for the exact same price, is a Kirin Ichiban Shibori, the first press, and that's what I drink because it does not have cornstarch in it. It has just the proper basic 4 ingredients of a beer. For the same price, actually. When you're talking about tiers of beer, everything's about the same price, and then above that tier of beer is Ebisu, and then premium malts, both of which do not have cornstarch in them. So Kirin's the only one that you can buy for a cheaper price that doesn't have. It is not like your adjunct lager. So yeah, this is it's good. It's cold. It's a pilsner. Drink it. It's a lager. Drink it a bit colder because it's a nice hot day. So yeah, nothing special. But I looked up the history of that. I don't know if that was interesting, but yeah, that's what I'm drinking today. The Maru F, the Phoenix.
I keep thinking you're saying Mother F.
Maru, yeah. The circle. I shouldn't say Maru F. I should just say Circle F. Is what it means. But yeah. The Mother F. That's got to be the name of. Remember when we were talking about all these beers and they're like cheeky little text on their can, like, "Hey bud, you like hops, we like hops, let's do it." It's like, don't talk to me like I'm your friend. There's got to be a beer called like the Mother F. Whatever. Sorry.
What are you drinking?
I got an Oktoberfest, which I think is backwards, maybe in the.
Nope, it's good.
Is it right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the issue
is it's about that time.
The issue it's not October yet.
No, well, isn't Oktoberfest in the end of September in Germany?
It probably is. I know it's basically just kind of like a fall
song. It's
autumn, seasonal thing.
Yeah.
It's Oktoberfest somewhere.
Right. So I've been trying a bunch of these because they just started popping up in the stores. So this is Firestone Walker's Oktoberfest, and pretty much exactly what you would expect. It's a standard lager, a little bit darker in color. It's got a little bit of spice. But yeah, it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it. This is number 6 for the night, so probably move on to something a little less. What is this? 5 point something. I'm gonna move on to some light beer after this for sure.
All right.
So
sounds
PBR
good. Now that we have done our beers, it's time to talk about video games. And gentlemen, we can't talk about video games without talking about a special moment that happened over the week this week, and that was Nintendo busting out the Direct here. And they're like, let's bust out some moves and let's bust out some games. So let's talk about them. I know Burkoff's got the list, so I'm not going to introduce the first one because I have no idea what he's going to talk about. So Burkoff.
Yeah, we don't have to do this in order, right? Just kind of
the
what we want to talk about.
The master of lists. Let's go.
So yeah, I was actually really excited about this Nintendo Direct. I haven't in the past been that keen to watch these directs right when they happen. But I've been playing a lot on my Switch lately, so let's hop into this. And I don't think Nintendo disappointed. They actually came with some interesting shit and had some shadow drops and some stuff we weren't expecting. So let's start with Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Okay.
I think this is really interesting because this is the first time that Kirby's getting the full 3D treatment, and it looks like Kirby Odyssey to a certain extent. What did you guys think when this happened?
I kind of expected Mario to hop out and go, "Get the F out of my world."
Right.
I don't know. I mean, and Evan walks away. The joke was
He's
so
just like,
great.
he's just like, I'm out.
Mic drop. I can't believe I ended the show with such a great statement that Evan had to walk away. That was great. That was
Sorry.
great.
I don't have my AirPods and I gotta take these damn headphones off if I want to
we were
close
just saying
the
I
window.
made a wonderful statement that made you like drop the mic.
Oh, you're down tootin'.
Yeah, E3. Anyway, I guess I've never really played a Kirby game since like the 2D Kirby game from like N64.
Okay.
Or am
I know what game you're talking about.
Or I'm thinking GameCube. One of the two. But it's been such a long time. Here's the thing. I don't know, and obviously it's because I don't know Kirby very well, and I don't know. With you saying it's the Odyssey game for Kirby makes me go, well, what makes this game unique? If it's just going to be Kirby Odyssey,
I don't know from the trailer if we know really what makes this like all that unique, and I don't know that it has to be. It's just Kirby in 3D and being able to translate the same feel of the 2D games into 3D is gonna be nice, I think.
Yeah. I mean, if you like Odyssey, I think you'll like this game. It looks like pretty much. Which I enjoyed Odyssey, so I'll probably enjoy this game.
Go ahead, Evan.
I was watching someone react to this video, one of maybe 6 or 7 reaction videos I watched, because that's what I do nowadays. And he's a big Nintendo fan, right? These are the types of people that get like really extremely hyped for the directs leading up to them. And he referred to this game as crusty. Shout out to Vinny from Vinesauce, and he means that the graphics look crusty, and by that he means that it looks bad. And I agree.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this game. I would put money on that they're reusing assets from the Link's Awakening remake. Maybe it has something to do with the beach, and that's not bad. Like, I'm not going to get into a Kratos boat animation conversation about anything like that. Like, I don't care. But I'm looking at this game, and the first thing I think is, holy shit, do we need another Switch? Because some of these textures just look terrible. Like, and it looks just as bad as some of the textures from Breath of the Wild without the cell shading to make it look better. It's just like someone took like this Ed Gein texture mask and just stretched it over the lampshade into this horrific looking blurry piece of... And here's the thing. You know, people that... I know nobody watches this show. I know Mick Womble does, but he doesn't give a shit about Kirby. They might think, oh god, like another like whatever 36-year-old white guy complaining about having fun, lols, and that just shows my age right there. And I'll extend an olive branch. Like, the Switch hardware when it came out, it couldn't compete with even the PlayStation 4, and now we're in the next generation, and it's been showing its age for a really long time. However, in a game like Mario Odyssey, if you choose a specific aesthetic or an art style, you can make it work. Like Odyssey, with its jagged edges and all, looks absolutely amazing, right?
Yeah.
In 2017. And this game doesn't look anywhere close to that. It looks like it's in its early stages. They're saying 2022. And to your point...
2022.
Yeah, right. And to your point, Mitch, and this is what I was thinking, like, these games usually have a gimmick. Like, you have Epic Yarn with its kind of yarn design, and there's like Kirby Pinball, and there's all these side Kirby games and stuff. And I'm looking at this game, and I'm thinking, is there push with this game just that he can run around in 3D? Because that's not enough. Like, I played this game before where you suck up enemies and get their powers. It's called Mario Odyssey. This game doesn't look anything like it. And
it's
the main issue with the game was
trying to pull an Uncharted with him waking up at the beach, but the beach doesn't look as good.
It looked like Link's Awakening, which is that's another game where the aesthetic looks fine. But here's the main issue with this game. I'm looking at it, like, what is the hook of this game? There was nothing. Kirby was interacting with nothing in the level design in this game. He sucks up a couple of people, and he like, yeah, you get your powers like every other Kirby game. Like, what is the hook? I'm seeing zero interaction with the world. Like, look at Mario Odyssey, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay, we did Super Mario 3D Land, we did Galaxy, we did Galaxy 2. What is the hook going to be? Because it can't just be Mario running around. There has to be something, right? Doesn't have to necessarily be a gimmick per se. And the first trailer they show, Mario throws his hat and it spins around him. Like, okay, that's new. And then he jumps off a building and he's like, he's not going to make that jump. Then he throws his hat off, jumps on his hat to pop up to an extra level. You're like, okay, I saw so many reaction videos. Everyone's like, okay, wow, that's new. I'm looking at this Kirby game. There's nothing like that he's doing other than moving around in a 3D world. I'm like, what's the hook here? The world is so sparse. Watch that trailer again. I don't know. Is it playing now?
Yeah, it's playing.
It's playing while you're talking about it.
It's so sparse. There's nothing going on in that level design. He's not interacting with anything. I'm just like, if it's good, it's good. But I don't see anything unique about this game.
All right, so
It looks
I was in our Discord watching this live and talking with Liam. I didn't really want to start off the episode shitting on Nintendo, but I guess that's what we're gonna do. So
We'll turn it around later. Don't worry, everybody.
the one thing that I said, I was like, fucking a post-apocalyptic Kirby game? Are you kidding me? The one company I can count on to not do that shit, and Nintendo has to go and fuck it up.
That's a good point. I was leaning towards it's a bit unique. However, you're right. I think.
Here's the thing, Evan. You're like, what's the gimmick? The gimmick is always in the title of the game. It's about the Forgotten Land. That's going to be the gimmick. Something about the land.
So we're adding like this full fleshed out story to a Kirby game. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like what was it, Dreamland, Kirby and Dreamland, the Nintendo one? It was a lot about the environments. Who knows? I mean, maybe you're gonna end up like restoring parts of the. It's clearly like New York or something, right? It's a city that we should know. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's the ultimate goal of the game, is like you defeat these bosses and restore parts of the city.
I think right now, for me, it's like, I think at the moment I need to see the actual gameplay work. Like, we saw segments of like what you can do, and I think some of it is interesting. You're using Kirby's second powers, but the application of it, they use it pretty well in certain aspects in regards to like the spikes that shoot out, where he clamps on multiple people and then opens up a secret passageway. Like, that's interesting. That's cool. All right. It's okay.
I mean, yeah, but you suck up a spike enemy and you roll and you bust a door open. I've played this game before. That's been in games for 20 years.
I totally get that. I think what's going to really like make or break this game is going to be, is it so like Mario Odyssey? It's like separate segments of like going into each world, but this one looks more like it's an open world, and I'm curious on how that would work with the gameplay. And that's why I just say I kind of need to see this game a little bit more in context, because right now it's not really showing me enough to really know if it's going to work.
All right.
Yeah, people shouldn't get so worked up about Kirby. It's not necessary. I apologize for everything I said. No, but you're right. We need to see more of the actual gameplay, because I saw him suck up enemies, which he does. He's done in every single game since the first. And he just ran around a 3D space.
But I think
it could be great, right?
I think that's kind of the point, though. They want to like share of like, hey, Kirby is back. He's back to what you know him to be, and not like something drastically different. That's not gonna make you feel like you don't. It's not the same Kirby you remember. So like, I think that's maybe what they were trying to go for, but like that's just my best guess. And again, like
I'm just worried that
it's coming.
Go ahead.
It's coming spring 2020. So like that means like we will hear more about this game very soon. And from what Nintendo does, they're gonna do another direct just on Kirby, and we'll get to see the bread and butter of this game. And then if it's the same thing we think it is, we can harp on it more and say how much it's trash.
What if they're holding, they're holding something there, and then they say like, hey, here's the gimmick, or here's the new thing that's gonna not turn it on its head, but just show like, oh, okay, he can do this or whatever. Now this is interesting, but I just hope it doesn't turn into that Yoshi Switch game where everyone is like, like it's just it's boring.
Whatever, yeah.
Do you remember that game came out? I barely did. I just hope it doesn't turn into one of those. But whatever. Yeah. Kirby, and it's actually called Kirby Discovery in Japan. I think
Weird.
The Forgotten Land is a better title, to be honest.
That is, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we moving on then?
Yeah, that's too much time on Kirby. Sorry. I think that's my fault.
Bayonetta 3. Do you guys have any thoughts or feelings on that game?
I do not like the new voice actress.
Which I didn't know.
I didn't even notice.
I noticed, and it was, it's bad. Because she's trying to do the character like it's been done before, and she's not doing it. And that's where you get into trouble.
So, Mitch, have you checked like Bayonetta Twitter? Like, what's the pulse on this new voice actress? Have you read anything about it?
No,
fans?
I know nothing. I know absolutely nothing about the fandom in regards to this. I just know my own personal, stint with it right now, and it is, whew. But like the gameplay looks really fun. Like that's great. I'm confused on how it connects to the past games, but I guess that's sometimes the Bayonetta games just don't really give you a lot of context going into it, and then. I mean, I have my own gripes with how they kind of botched a big section of 1 and 2 of her fighting her father in the first game and then somehow not remembering that he told her she was his father, and then they like revisit it in the second game like she never knew, and you're like, what are you talking about? Like, you literally said that in the first game, like, I am your father, and I was like, such bullshit. Anyway, But yeah, I think the combat looks fun. I think that them expanding and doing more with the with her summons, I think is awesome, because it brings in huge like kaiju monsters basically, and it gives a new fresh take on how to do the combat, especially because the way the second game ended. I can't remember what the character's name is, but the ultimate evil ended up being resurrected. So like this is the ultimate evil. So,
okay. Commander Fett says, "Turn up your mic a little bit, Mitch."
Mine? I can't turn mine up no more.
Oh, all right. Well, you can just yell at us then. Yeah, my wife played the first one. She really liked it. I ended up buying 2 with 1 when I first got my Switch. I played through most of 1. I never got to 2. My wife ended up not even playing 2, and I was like, "Hey, look, they're making another one," and she was like, "Yeah, it's all right." So I don't really know.
1 was enough for her.
I don't know. It feels like this is kind of just more of the same outrageous shit. Like, I don't know. It might be cool.
I mean, the combat is great. It's silky smooth.
Yeah, the combat's
silky smooth. It feels really good. It handles really well. The witch time mechanic is excellent in regards to counters. Like, it does everything what it's supposed to do really, really well. It's just, it can get repetitive. And so they try to find ways to make it interesting as you go through each level. And that's what you get with this kind of game. This is it's a simple action game. Like, that's what you have to do. You have to figure out ways to make the gameplay creative for you as the player. And I think doing the kaiju monsters might be the thing that can change up the gameplay to make it a little more enticing and interesting. Or like even, I think they're trying. I'm not gonna bash them for not doing anything, because they are doing something. It's just whether it's working or not really depends on the player.
Yeah, I think she's a super cool character. Like you said, the combat and stuff is silky smooth. The story is where I sort of lose interest because it's just so I don't know.
Complicated.
I mean, well, it's complicated. It's kind of batshit crazy. Like it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But
I don't
maybe
remember anything about the story in 2 other than there was a kid who had blue dreadlocks,
It.
like a white
I don't
kid,
even
right? Blue
remember it, to be
dreadlock.
honest, but I remembered it was
Yeah.
really confusing. But I haven't played this game,
It,
and I haven't played the second game in probably like
why? Why
4
make it so
years.
confusing?
Because it's a
She's like
Japanese game, Evan.
she's like an 8 foot tall witch, like punching demons in the face with her hair. Like it's not that complicated.
She's
You don't have
not.
to put all these twists about yeah.
She's not 8 feet tall. For the first off, but anyway, I have no idea.
Wait, what?
I don't know why it has to be so complicated.
Actually, she's. I'm just kidding.
actually,
Well, she stands next to a regular guy, and she's not 8 feet tall.
She's not.
She's probably like
thought she
six.
was,
She's probably like 6 foot.
those I don't know, those heels are.
She
Yeah.
has exaggerated proportions. Sorry, is what I
Yeah.
should have said.
Well, well, that is coming in 2022, which better late than never, because this thing was announced back in 2017.
How many? Well, how
Yeah,
many
that
games
was a bit
are?
early.
How many games is Platinum working on right now? Don't they? 'Cause Astral Chain came out not too long ago, right?
Astro Chain came out 2.5 years ago.
Has it been that long?
It's
Jesus.
been a while.
Okay.
They did a sequel to that some shmup game that I had never heard of. I saw Hideki Kamiya playing
They also did the
it on this giant arcade system.
Was it the Wonderful 101? They did that.
Oh
Ported
yeah, I
that.
mean years and years ago. Like
Yeah, that was a while
currently
ago,
they're
yeah.
working on Babylon's Fall,
Yep.
which looks like ass.
Oh yeah, isn't that
Bayonetta 3.
Babylon's Fall? Isn't that the one with the teenager that gets sucked into the fantasy realm?
No, that's Forspoken.
No, that's Forspoken. This
Oh,
one is it's like a
This one looks like
you're like
what's that one sword loot slasher that came out first for PlayStation 5? What was it called?
Godfall.
Godfall. It's Godfall.
How can you forget a name like Godfall? Come on, man. It really does look like Godfall, but you're climbing like the Tower of Babylon, maybe.
Right.
And I just remember in the trailer, the newest trailer, there's like this this almost like a hymn, this kind of woman, like this operatic score. And then all of a sudden from the side, this guy comes like, "Oh, one day when I," and then I was watching the Giant Bomb reaction video, and fucking Jeff Bakalar pulled out a line from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. He's like, "When I killed your brother, I talked just like this." I fucking lost it because that's exactly how he sounded. But in terms of Platinum Games, there's always been, or at least recently, because they were hitting everything out of the park,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden they started putting out like that Ninja Turtles game, and there's a couple others, and people are like, I think there's like an A team and a B team at Platinum Games, and then that's been a thing since then. So Bayonetta 3 is definitely the A team working on it for sure, right? Because I think
It's
Bayonetta
gotta
is
be.
a bit overrated. However, Bayonetta 2, I've only ever played 2, but it's a really, really solid action game. It's just
Yeah.
held back by the system a bit.
And also held back
Uh,
by its complicated storyline.
Yeah. I wish it was on other systems. It could look so much better than it does. Oh, the thing about the kaiju battle thing you were referring to, Mitch, the summons, this additional kind of, all right, like scale, right? That game has been about scale, where the camera zooms out and she's flying on this ship where like
Right,
angels
right.
are, like that shit's cool, right?
Yeah, and the
So like,
summons
okay,
were
let's
cool.
let's
It's just
up
you
the ante
never
with
got.
scale.
Yeah, like you've been able to summon them, but you've never been able to control them, and I think that's what the new feature is going to really allow some creativity.
That could be awesome, right? I just hope that it's fun to control, because some of the angles of the cameras, like Bayonetta's bottom left frame, and you're controlling it, if it doesn't feel right. But they're so good at that combat, though. I
Well-
would trust them to.
And I would also say, because I've been playing Kina, and Burkoff's seen it, there's something quite similar to what they show in the gameplay of this, where where I was controlling, when I put my little rots
yeah.
inside the tree, and then they turn into this monster, and I control them via. So what happened was in Kina is you can send your rots into a tree, and they turn into like this spirit monster that can clear out paths for you. And how I control it is I can still control my character with the left stick, but then I control the movement of the creature I created with the right stick, and then the angle was still not like perfect, but I could just move my body and it would create a good angle for it, and then I just use the shoulder buttons to like do its attack moves. So I think if it did it similar to that, I think it would work out just fine.
Yeah, I can see
Yeah,
that.
I mean, it's exciting. Bayonetta fans are excited. It looks okay. I mean, it looks better than Kirby Forgotten Land. I'll tell you that much. But yeah,
Actually,
I'll
to be
play
honest, I think Bayonetta 2 looks better than this game.
Well,
Dude,
it's so
I remember
early.
playing the beginning of Bayonetta 2, and the Danny DeVito character goes into that toy shop, and you go in and you're like, are these Dreamcast textures? Like, there's like 3 things on the shelves. Like, man, this system, like, please put these fucking games on a different system. Like, the enemies in Bayonetta, the models look so great, but the city in the beginning of that game, watch the beginning of Bayonetta 2, pull up a YouTube video. It looks horrible. But again, gameplay's king. I gotta stop. I'm like trashing all
No,
these games.
but I think you
solid
make a point that like even with this gameplay, you know, the hardware is held back not just visually but with what they can do with gameplay. And so like yeah, is
frame
some
rate with those giant kaiju battles,
well,
right?
well some
Who
of
knows?
this yeah, well in regards to it, it's just like sometimes I just feel as if people are giving more credit to games that come out for this system more than they really should get, because it's like excuse me,
Bless you.
I'm allergic to this conversation. But I think that it's in some instances I feel like as if the games really shouldn't get credit for being behind the times, but because it's a Nintendo game, it's still current.
I guess like the companies are working within the devs are working within the parameters of the system, right? Like they would probably like to make those textures look better than Shenmue 1 on the Dreamcast,
But
but they
like the
can't.
reviewers are totally like fine with that.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird middle
Yeah.
ground, right? Because Nintendo has these developers that could be doing fucking PS5 level shit, and then you've got like the Pokemon games, which are just now getting into 360 level graphics.
Even so, they still
so-
look horrible.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So like, there's this huge divide between the studios that do their first party stuff.
But-
Yeah, and
but here,
and
in
you're
my
right
mind,
though.
it's like
People
the
forgive
reviewers.
these things.
Yes, people
Yeah.
are forgiving them
just-
for being like, oh, but they're constrained by their hardware. And it's like, well, their game still looks crappy if you compare it to another game made by another studio that's not made by Nintendo. I mean, not made
Right,
for
and,
the Switch.
Yeah.
And so therefore, like
And-
if you based your number off graphics, that number should automatically be dinked down, because there's no way that game looks better graphically than any other game you're playing. Like Burkoff saw me play Kina. That game looks as he said in his quotes, he's like this game, if I play it 10 years from now, it's still going to look fantastic.
Part of that's the art direction, but yeah.
But because of the technology that is there for them, it can age well with that art style. A Mario game like Mario Odyssey, yeah, the graphics look good and the art style looks pretty good. But if you put it on like like if you did something like you did with Kina and put it on a PS5, Burkoff probably would make the same comment of, wow, this game probably will last a good 10 years looking good. And where Odyssey, it looks, I can't even say it looks good. I think it just looks fine.
I mean, I like, as much as I've been trashing all these games, like I think because of the art, the style, and the general aesthetic, the art direction, I think Odyssey looks
But
great
I think that
still.
also
Could it
unfortunately
look better? Of course.
But unfortunately, I think it just limits what they can do. Like it's like we have to do that
Oh,
art style
totally.
because it only will look good in that art style.
Well, at least Mario is like a cartoon character and not like Nathan Drake, right? So
Right.
it doesn't need to have
It's-
high fidelity. But
It's where
you look at these videos Rafa posts about like 4K Breath of the Wild, 60 frames per second. All those mods, I'm crying when I see them. Like what could have been type of stuff with these games, right?
Or it's just,
I love Breath of the
it just
Wild.
really
It
stands
looks
out for
amazing.
something like Bayonetta because, like you said, those real world textures, They just look so muddled.
Getting back to Mario, though, just imagine a world where Mario is modeled after, what's his face?
Chris Pratt.
Pratt.
It's just Chris Pratt. And you just got a Mario hat on.
I forgot his name.
I was gonna say you even forgot his name. Well, yeah, that will be interesting. I'm very curious about that because of
You guys want to get into it then?
Yeah, we're getting into it. I already threw the B-roll up, so
I was trying to do like
transition.
a hard.
I need to watch the stream. I apologize. I'm not watching the stream. Sorry, Mitch. Go ahead.
No, I think I like the casting for the most part, except for Chris Pratt.
Did they say who's playing Luigi?
The B-roll will tell you in a second because I forgot who it was, but I thought it was perfect.
The
casting.
guy from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. One of the the guy who's not on the mythic whatever Apple TV show. The other one.
That doesn't tell me anything.
I recognize his acting.
I've never
I
watched
just don't
Always
remember
Sunny.
his name. That's
Charlie Days.
That's
Charles
what it is.
Days.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Okay. He might do as good a job as John Leguizamo did.
And then
we'll
so
see.
here we go. Mario.
Maybe.
Mario is
Hey,
Chris
don't go that
Pratt.
far.
Mario's Chris Pratt, and then it is come on, show me the other ones. This is me trying to do live.
Queen's Gambit.
Queen's Gambit, which is
Queen's
Anya
Gambit.
Taylor-Joy. She's gonna play Peach. And then it's
I'm fine with that. Like
I know Jack Black is gonna do Bowser, which I think is a great. Well,
no, Jack Black is. Are you sure he's Bowser?
Charlie Day is Luigi. Charlie Day.
I thought The Rock was Bowser.
No.
Who's The Rock playing?
No,
The Rock's isn't in this movie.
He's not in. Oh,
no, he's not.
He's in everything. I thought he'd be in this too.
Bowser is Jack Black. Which just that picture of him is perfect. He's got to shave that off.
He's got his YouTube channel, Jablonski, whatever, fucking beard going. I like how he just doesn't give a shit. Like he's made so much. Like who cares?
Oh yeah, Seth Green's Donkey Kong. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen?
Yeah, Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen.
Sorry, not Seth Green. My bad. Seth Rogen. Wow, the name was right in front of me and I totally missed it. I just read. But apparently, the actual voice of Mario will be doing a secret cameo somewhere.
Charles Martinet. Yeah.
Which
Charles
here's
Martinet
the thing.
Presents Bit Trip Run. I'm just kidding. Great game.
Well, I'm just really confused because it'll just be interesting. I'm not sure what to think because of I need to see the actual trailer because I don't know if they're gonna modulate the voices because Mario's sound is so iconic. Like, how can Chris Pratt match that? And like, what are they gonna do?
Maybe
Is he gonna
audition?
Accent? And like, I don't imagine. No offense, I don't imagine Anya Taylor-Joy making a Princess Peach sound from that high of pitch because her voice is so low.
I mean,
they're gonna have to do it differently.
And then like,
and people are gonna have to get used to it.
Like Charlie Day is a great. I love Charlie Day. He's hilarious. I love him in a lot of different movies. I think is a great choice for like the enthusiast. Well, like Luigi's not that enthusiastic, so like it's interesting casting. Like, I just want to see. I want to see a trailer.
I feel bad for Luigi, but who fucking cares what Luigi says? Charlie Day's fine for him. Like,
Mario puts him through so much crap. He deserves a better life for himself.
I suppose you're right.
I just have to wonder why this is even happening. But
well, one thing I do trust is Illumination Entertainment. They're an amazing studio. If there's one team that I would say like they could do it, Illumination. They have such an amazing style with their animation and the art look. Like, that's one I was like, okay, that makes sense. I could see them doing that. So, again, I gotta wait for the trailer. I just gotta hear the voices because I gotta know how they're gonna talk to each other. That's gonna be the thing that makes or breaks this movie.
It'll be interesting to see what the story is gonna be, if anything. Like,
yeah, because there's DK and Bowser.
Yeah.
And if Anya Taylor-Joy is going to do this role, like, Peach is definitely not going to be like a damsel in distress role.
Do you think
Yeah.
they're going to get subversive with it, turn it on its head, like, oh, actually Peach doesn't get captured and they have something else
No, I think she might get
to,
captured, but I think she might like escape. And then,
like a Shrek type thing?
well, like she'll escape, and then she searches for Mario while Mario searches for her, and then like they find out like, oh, she just left, and then they gotta go find her, and it's like she's hanging out with DK or something. I don't know. Like, to be honest, it's
Okay,
no idea what the plot's gonna be.
I have a question. What group of uh, little, I was going to say minions, but that doesn't work now because they do the minions. But I'm going to say it anyways now. What group of minions are going to be the analog to the minions? Is it going to be a bunch of toads running around and like slipping on banana peels and hitting heads? Is it going to be the Goombas? Is it going to be the Koopa Troopas? Because they're going to have something.
It's probably going to be the
to be the analog.
It's probably going to be the Koopa Troopas because they already casted a Toad character, so they can't have Toad be that one.
Oh, I mean, Keenan Michael Key. He might just be all of the Toads because they all sound the same in the games. So. Right?
That'd be really annoying.
Yeah, I would let him do that. That's yes.
But yeah, I'm one thing not necessarily worried about because I'm with Burkoff on this whole video games to being represented as movies. Like, I don't care. They're all terrible in my book.
They are.
So I don't care. Like, I love all the Mario is one of my, and like Mario, Zelda, two of my favorite franchises. But when it comes to movies, like, I don't care. Like, I will go see this movie, but I'm not counting on the days.
I'm happy that both exist.
I mean,
okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, everyone's on a spectrum for this, but
I feel like somebody needed a fucking tax write-off. Like, who needed a tax write-off to make this shit happen, right?
We did have a pandemic, so Nintendo does need that tax write-off, man.
I guess, dude. I would be more excited if it was a cartoon show. You know what I mean? Like, if it was just in the vein of like.
Well, we'll have to see. You know that there's the Cuphead show coming to Netflix, and so if that show if that show does bonkers, people might decide.
Cuphead TV show.
But I think also like video games.
Fuck Mario, man! I can't wait for that Cuphead TV show.
But then also like video games have been moving towards TV as well right now. So we got the Last of Us TV show, we got the Cuphead show, we have the Resident Evil TV show that's coming to Netflix. Not the animated one that just came out. There's a live action one, and that's along with the movies that are the movie that's coming out at the end of the year. So like there is, I think TV is opening because of streaming services. Video games will have an opportunity to be in television, which might allow a better opportunity for them to, review better. Unfortunately, I was hopeful for Mortal Kombat and it didn't work out, but they are making another movie, so I'm excited to see it.
For me personally,
I hate that film.
For me personally, it's like 20 minutes is a hell of a lot less of an investment than 2 hours. And I can get behind that.
What I would love to see?
I think TV suits games more.
I would love to see a live-action Mario sitcom. Just being Peach coming home and she's like, "How's your day?" No, Mario comes home. Peach's like, "How your day, sweetie?" It's like Bowser was a dickhole again. It's just like
he's like the asshole neighbor that shows up uninvited. Like,
no,
Bowser.
No, that's Luigi. Luigi shows up unannounced.
Yeah.
And then
if nobody likes Luigi, he's always getting fucking.
And then Bowser's Bowser's the bully. Bowser's the bully at work where they all work for DK.
Okay. Now you're thinking. Here we go. Here's a pitch. Here's a pitch for you.
Put me in the room, fellas. Put me in the room.
All right. I have one more question for both of you. What are the chances, and you can do like 40%, 50%, whatever you want to do, that everyone sees this movie and then like 10 minutes into it, they're like, actually, Chris Pratt he's it's all right. Not bad.
I gotta hear the voice. I gotta hear the voice in the trailer first. This could easily turn into a Sonic issue, where it's like, if the voices don't work right, they might have to like rework the voicing.
Yeah. So like, okay, he was good in Parks and Rec. His character is hilarious. Guardians of the Galaxy, he's good as Star-Lord, but that character was basically his character from Parks and Rec, just molded into a superhero role. Yeah. And the comics kind of followed suit with that. And it works. I don't know that you can, like, throwing him into the Mario role doesn't make sense to me.
Well,
unless he can't.
He wasn't that.
Mario's not a comedic character.
He was in that movie. Right? Was it Onward from Pixar? And okay. I didn't really like him in that role. Him and Tom Holland just really didn't do it for me. Like, that movie was a really big disappointment for me, and so that's what makes me extra worried about this and being like, okay, they must be doing some voice modulation, and they better have a lot of options available to them if they get some backlash like Sonic did with his look, that they'll be like, oh, we need to change the voice a little more because this ain't working. Because if Mario comes out and sounds like Chris Pratt, it's gonna sound so bad. It's gonna be so bad, guys.
I don't want to be reminded of the actor when I'm watching the film. That's the issue.
Yes.
With Jack Black too, I'm looking at Bowser, but Jack Black is talking. I like Jack Black as an actor, but I don't like this.
But I think Jack Black can at least disguise his voice enough. I don't trust Chris Pratt can do that.
That's the thing. Jack Black's got a little more range. I feel like if you looked at his IMDb, you'd find shit that Jack Black's been in, and you're like, oh, I didn't know he was in that.
Kind of like Mark Hamill that's what I want. Stuff, and you didn't know he was in it.
When I first learned that he was the Joker in the Batman animated series, it blew my mind. I couldn't believe it.
Exactly.
Which is what I'd hope. Like, what if Chris Pratt, right? America's sweetheart, Chris Pratt, went in that audition and he just fucking nailed it, and they're like, he sounds exactly like Mario.
I mean, it's possible.
No one's gonna believe us.
That's probably what Miyamoto did. Miyamoto's like, he's like, oh my god, it's my Mario.
It's
Mamma Mia,
you guys say
Mario.
That, hugging each other in the room.
You guys say that, but here's a perfect example. Like Mark Hamill, awesome as the Joker. You watch Masters of the Universe Revelations. Skeletor sounds like the fucking Joker. Like, that's obviously Mark Hamill doing his Joker impression.
That's if they
as Skeletor.
But sometimes they ask for it. Sometimes that's what they
want.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. So like that's my concern. Mm-hmm. Is I see Chris Pratt as the guy from Parks and Rec, and he's the guy from Parks and Rec as Star-Lord. For me, it's most likely he's going to be the guy from Parks and Rec as Mario. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
that's sabotage. They should know that's not going to work with this.
Well, it's Miyamoto. He's like Kojima. He's crazy. And
at least he stays out of the limelight.
Speaking of crazy, fellas, guess what else happened? Nintendo Online is offering new services for everybody. We're getting N64 games, and we're getting NES games if you want to pay more for your membership. They did not reveal price, but they did say you get new content, and wow, what a really nice title to call it. An expansion pack. How original.
So I'm kind of excited for this, actually.
You want to pay $50 for a brand new N64 controller? Hopefully that stick gets fixed. Hopefully they it's not really.
I probably will, because I bought the NES ones.
I will too. I'm just being that guy. But of course I'm gonna buy one, because my friend and I are on the family membership, so like I'm gonna get this automatically with my membership. So I have to buy the controller. Okay. So, but what was I gonna say? But here, one thing I don't understand, and I'm so happy that all these games are coming. Don't get me wrong. Don't. I see all the typer haters ready to go, being like, Mitch, you such a dickwad. You're such an asshole. Like, what are you doing? Here, I'm gonna counter you. We've already had Ocarina of Time remade multiple times. Can we get Majora's Mask on day one instead?
I don't know why that isn't part of this. I would think that you'd have both.
It's coming.
I
Just
mean,
not,
it's coming,
not
but like
right away.
Probably
I would
will, yeah.
replace Ocarina of Time with Majora's Mask, wouldn't you?
No, I'd include Ocarina. I'd have them both.
I guess they got to start.
But I mean, like
in
you would
order.
release.
Is the thing.
Yeah, I guess so. Whatever. Okay, Evan.
I know
Mr.
what you mean, though.
Mr.
I know what you mean.
Logic, I see what you're doing. Whatever.
Well, they did re-release. They did a 3DS remaster of
Both.
Majora's Mask as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I understand what you mean. I think more people would like to see Majora's Mask on. But they did say it's coming. They didn't say when.
At least people won't have to get mad anymore that they can't play the N64 Mario 64 because of that, like, you know, limited release on the Switch. Now they can just play it on there.
Which is why they limited it.
Well,
Maybe?
so
That's kind of
that's
sad.
well, yeah, that is probably why they limited it, but that's not the biggest complaint. Like the biggest complaint with the Super Mario All Stars or whatever it was is the changes that they made to the game with some of the textures and.
Oh yeah,
It's
it wasn't.
not-
It was a cut and paste job. It was not a actual like touch up.
Yeah, so having the original game is probably going to be
For the
more
best.
favorable for a lot of fans.
Especially because you'll have the original controller to play it on. So that's great. And
Yeah.
and
Pretty wild,
some
actually.
there's some awesome games ready to go on day one for that too. So it's gonna be great. I'm excited for it. I think it's a great offering. Hopefully they just keep the games going and it's not going to just be limited to what these are and that's it.
So they are adding Sega Genesis games or Mega Drive games.
I'm more
as
excited for that
well.
because I think 64
Well,
games have just aged
I would have
really
gone
poorly.
crazy if they brought
I don't
in
wanna
the
play those
GameCube.
again.
That's what they needed. They needed the
Here's
GameCube.
what's bittersweet about the Genesis Mega Drive stuff though is there's already the Genesis Mega Drive collection on a physical package, a
Yeah.
physical cart that you can buy, and it has way
Yeah.
more games than what they're releasing. The controller is really cool though. So yeah, I don't know. It is bittersweet. I'm probably gonna play Shining Force again, just because fuck it, why not, right?
I'll play Majora's Mask
not,
for the
man?
first time. So I played Ocarina of Time
Oh, wow.
like 6
That'd be
years. I played Ocarina of Time for the first time like 6 years ago. When it came out for the 3DS? Yeah,
Yeah.
it was when it came out for
Is
the
it a
3DS.
DS? Is it a DS or 3? Yeah.
Yeah, so I bought that and played Ocarina of Time for the first time doing that. I do remember I got people were like, "Oh my god, you got through the water temple pretty easily," and I was like, "Yeah, that wasn't much of an issue." Like I understood what the mechanics were doing, and I might have just hit a magic combination where it worked out, but whatever. All right, fellas. Speaking of online services, they're gonna be putting a PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PlayStation 5 next gen game on the Switch via the cloud
Wow.
with Dying Light 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the cloud version. They did this with Resident Evil 7 and Hitman, I believe. They had cloud versions of both of those games.
They also
because
did
the
it
system
with,
itself can't
with
handle it.
Remedy's, what's the Remedy game that came out recently? Control.
Control?
They did it with Control.
Oh, it was okay.
They did
Control came out for the Switch?
They did a
Oh my
beta
God.
of it. My roommate played it for a bit. He said it worked okay.
Dude,
But-
I bet you if you played Control and you were going up an escalator, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Like, is this Kirby Forgotten Lands? Or is this Control? They look the same texture-wise.
The question is though,
Just-
would you buy it? Like, say you only had a Switch, would you buy this game and play it in the
No. No.
It's gonna look bad.
Well, it's not that it's gonna look bad. Like it's cloud, so it'll look okay. But part of the reason I own a Switch is because I want to buy cartridges for it.
Well, there is a free demo if you want to try it that launches on the same day.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I tried Phantasy Star Online 2 before it came out for the US, and that was a cloud version as well.
Hmm.
But it was Japan only. The
Mm.
the service is all right. It's just you're always on Wi-Fi,
Yep.
so it's just not the best experience playing shit streaming. Is all.
Right.
All right. Well, let's get to some cooler shit. Um,
Yeah, that game is played on a PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X for sure.
PC, yeah.
even
for
though
sure.
I'm not gonna
PC,
play it
yeah.
because I did not like the first game, but that's just me. I know many people love the first game, so I'm not gonna bash those
Oh,
people.
actually,
Just not my cup of tea.
Mitch, I think it's a bit overrated as well, but I liked it enough, but I don't think it's as amazing as everyone said. But
I mean,
anyways,
yeah.
let's
who are we kidding? It has zombies. I can play it.
Well, you know
Oh,
what's
God.
you know what's better
Can
than
we please?
you know what's better than zombies, Burkoff? Triangles.
I was gonna say strategies.
It's
Anything? Yeah.
Dan's
Alone.
favorite genre. Let's talk about triangle strategy.
Project Triangle Strategy, which became Triangle Strategy, which I think
Is a horrible
Liam called. Yeah, which is it is a horrible game. But was this announced a year ago, 9 months ago? I'm pretty
A
sure
little,
he.
a little while ago.
It reminds
I'm
me
pretty
of
sure
the art
he's.
style of Octopath Traveler. That's what it reminds me of.
Oh, it is. It's 2D HD. I'm pretty sure it's the same studio, or at least the same group of people.
Which was also called Project Octopath Traveler,
And then it
they
was
just dropped the
Octopath, yeah.
project. Yeah, so
That makes sense.
that's hilarious.
now
They should keep doing
Yeah,
that.
now
for
we
all the
just have to
games.
take them for granted if they're saying like it's Project Monkey Nuts. It's Monkey Nuts, man.
Yep, that is good. Yeah,
Monkey Nuts.
definitely.
You can take that to the bank, guys. Project Monkey Nuts. There you go.
Blood.
Has everybody here played the demo
No.
of Triangle Strategy?
I have.
Did you play it? Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't even know.
Mr.
It
I
came.
hate tactics games. I gave it a shot. I completely messed up my first crack at the bridge
Yep.
level, and I died. And I got annoyed because I was about 30 minutes into it. I guess that's how tactics games work, and that's what reminded me why I don't like them. But I took a second crack at it and was a bit more tactical about what I was doing, and I did beat it. It was so long for a single battle. Like well, Burkoff, you're more of a tactics guy, and the art style is amazing. Like I love the way this game looks.
Yeah.
How did you feel about it?
So I'm excited to see what the different choices are that you can make from the trailer that we got, and finally getting a release date. It sounds like some of the issues that you had with it in terms of the balancing and all that they've tweaked. So
Yeah,
it
they
should
did
be
say.
it should be it should be a tighter experience when it does come out. But yeah, I mean, this looks like Tactics Ogre or Final Fantasy Tactics or anything like that, but for a new generation. And it should have some type of branching path, or branching narrative that you can go down. So I'm all about this. I'm super excited for this game. This is a day one buy for me.
I think we'll have to discuss this when. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mitch.
I was just say this is a wait and see for me. I mean, I really liked what was it? What was the last strategy game I played? Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Yeah,
And I enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed tactics games. It just depends on the other stuff around just the tactics portion. Like, there's got to be other things to involve me to make me feel to grow with everything than just being like scenario. So that's it. I mean, because there's a demo, I'll probably try the demo. Unfortunately for the Nintendo Direct, I was like half working. I was like driving, so I didn't watch any of it. I watched all like the stories that came out after, so I missed some things. So I didn't watch the Direct actually for straight through. So I missed this one. So Evan, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, just what Burkoff was alluding to with warring factions or countries, rather, triangle strategy. There's going to be a point in the story where whichever I think it bounces around to all of the kingdoms involved in this war. I'm not sure, but obviously there's going to be some betrayal involved, siding with one side over the other.
Yeah.
And like that stuff's cool. Like I liked Octopath Traveler a lot. I just don't like tactics games a lot. However, in terms of recommending games to people, Burkoff is 1 for 1, knocked out of the park, grand slam home run with the Talos principle. I think that game might come up in the 2021 Pixel Pints Game of the Year talks. So, whenever this game comes out next year, he's buying it day one. I'd like to have a conversation with Burkoff, get the lowdown on the game, and maybe I'll buy it then. It hurts me, it pains me because it looks so good. I'm like, I wish it was a turn-based JRPG like Octopath, but maybe it's the first tactics game that I like. I don't know.
It'll be interesting. All right, if they've sped up the battles a little bit, I think that alleviates some of the issues that you might have.
Yeah, I don't want to get 30 minutes into a battle and die and have to do it over. That's
well, and the one thing that they did say too, like the demo takes place roughly, I guess, in the middle of the game. So they drop you like right into the middle of however long this is going to be, which I'm assuming is probably going to be at least 40 hours or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So there's that. Like, if there's some build up to it, and maybe the battles leading up to that stuff are not all that time intensive. If you can knock them out in 10 minutes or whatever, you can do a battle. Maybe that would it'd be more to your liking if that were the case. I don't know. We'll see when it comes out. Like I said, I'm gonna buy it. Yeah. So.
Well, you know what? It's a guaranteed buy for me, fellas. Splatoon 3.
Is it? Are you a Splatoon?
Oh, really? I didn't know you were a Splatoon fan. Yeah.
I am a big Splatoon fan. Splatoon is awesome. I love what they're trying to do with this. Now, like, there's only a little bit that they showed, but really changing up the strategy is really big, and I love that they have like turrets, and now you can create like force fields for yourself, and then you also can be like Spider-Man and like launch yourself across the map. And I think what this game really needs, and I think it's really showing right now, is what it needs is a lot more verticality and movement, where you can kind of move in different distances or different levels in regards to like verticality. And I think it really would do really, really well with that. So I'm super pumped. I like what I see so far. It's very short, but I think there's something fun about that concept where it's like, and a turf war is what I'm speaking of specifically, where it's like two teams just covering a floor with as much paint as possible. There's like some so simplistic yet can be so much fun. So I'm all for it. So I'm down for this. A friend and I play it all the time together. So like it's just one of those where like we all saw it. We're like Splatoon 3, yes. So, and I think they do a really good job with the community to keep it going. They've done things where they have had weekends where you're like your team ketchup or team mustard, and you pick a side at the beginning of the weekend. It's called Splatfest. So you pick a team, pick a side, and then you like compete with that team, and whoever wins the most matches is the winner. So declared like team ketchup is like ultimate. Ketchup is ultimate compared to mustard. Like I think those things are great for like younger people, yet still has an enticement for us as adults to be able to compete as well. So I'm all down for it. And this guy in this lab coat, man, give me more of that, man. Like you're rocking it, bro. You're rocking the lab coat.
The most important part of that is he keeps with the bit. He doesn't stray off. He keeps straight, and he never wavers.
Whole time. He's so great with it.
That's the most important part of that. In terms of just with Splatoon, like I don't play any multiplayer stuff, and I wasn't really familiar with the lore. But like I just like slowly realized like, oh, this is some sort of weird post-apocalyptic world where the cephalopods became the dominant species, and mammals are all but wiped out, save for like 2 cats. And the single-player mode in this game is like the return of the mammalians.
Yeah.
Like a portmanteau of mammal and alien. That's that's awesome. Like I kind of want to play that, but I'm not gonna purchase the game for $60 to have a bunch of anthropomorphic cephalopods fight like
Well,
mammals.
and
Like
plus the main plot of it.
I think it's a super interesting concept.
Well, I was gonna say
Aside from
plus
the gameplay,
plus the
right?
main single player is not that compelling anyway by itself.
Yeah,
Not even
I've
close.
heard it's just like it's throwaway.
It's throwaway.
Is it kind of like some of the middle Call of Duties where the campaign's not really there to entertain you, it's just there to teach you the shit to get into multiplayer?
Kinda, but even without it, you could still learn the multiplayer pretty easily because they do tutorials to learn how to use the systems before you even get to the single player. So the single player is just its own separate mode to just say hop in when you want to hop in. So,
All right.
yeah. All right.
Yeah, I'll admit this is definitely not a game that I had ever really gotten into. The fact that you like it though, I might have to check it out because I never would have thought that any of my friends would be into it.
Oh, I'm a friend.
I do appreciate
Of course, dude,
getting Nintendo developing memorable looks for characters, a character design. I do appreciate the look of the Squid Kids.
Oh yeah,
like you see a Squid Kid and a Squid Kid, and you know a Squid Kid. Yeah, you see a Squid Kid and he's a cephalopod.
You see a Squidward.
Squidward. Yeah, it's just I like when Nintendo branches out. ARMS didn't make the cut, right? But they tried, right? God knows they tried.
I mean, ARMS was pretty good.
I like when they try new things.
It should have been a punch out.
Memorable.
It should have been a punch out game.
No, I totally get you. Totally get you.
Oh man,
fucked up on that
you
one.
are right. You are right, Burkhoff. It should have been a punch out game. Well, I'm thinking about memorable looking characters that have a what is that weird like Michael Jordan has a CQ value of whatever. It's like basically you hold up a picture to anyone in the world, they're like, that's Mario, that's Michael Jordan, that's George Washington, which
icon.
It's in there's some sort of weird like personality like a familiarity rating system. I don't know exactly what it's called, but I'm glad that Nintendo branched out, tried their hand in this multiplayer, and they came up with memorable characters. At least it's because I want these things to succeed, whether or not I like them, so that they try new things, right?
Right, and that's all we can hope for.
And Nintendo does have one game that has all of their memorable characters in it. Do we know what game that is?
Smash Bros.
Yeah. Do any of us really care? No.
I mean, I like Smash Bros, but I have not paid attention to any of the DLC characters. It's weird that they made an announcement about the announcement.
Very, very
you know
weird.
What?
Unless there's a preview unless there's a preview for the next like Super Smash Bros, I could care less. Or them just saying like this is the last DLC character and look forward to more Smash Bros in 2020 blank.
I think it's interesting
though.
Like Shadow Drop as soon as like the DLC characters come out for the old game, but the new game launches the next day.
I don't think they're gonna come out with a new Smash Brothers until they release a whole other system.
Oh no, I agree 100%. The next Smash Bros will not be out for another 4 years, 3 to 4 years.
At least.
Sakurai needs to rest. He needs to rest.
He's been working his butt off to get off those licenses.
And they're doing the same thing for Animal Crossing, I feel like. That hit last year, and now they're just, okay, let's just keep supporting this. Let's keep putting shit out.
Well, I mean, they probably still have retained... because it spread like wildfire, let's be honest, that game spread like wildfire. But even if they retained like 20% or even 30% of how many people bought it, they have enough to keep the thing going for the next 7 years.
Yeah, which they should. They should keep supporting it.
I think what they need to do is more drastic updates. They're not drastic enough right now to really get players to entice to come back. It's only for the ones that are still there that it's enticing for. And because they hit such gold in regards to like these people have the game, you just need to make them come back to it. And I don't think they're doing enough to really say those people, because they can still make all this stuff for the people that are still playing it. But right now, it's the time to make the things for the people that have gone away, like gone on vacation, and say, come on back. Like, we have a brand new mode that you can't do, that you couldn't do in the past game. I don't know what the hell it would be. It's like crash the airplane into your friend's island and cause a volcano to erupt or whatever. I don't know. Make something up. But like, do something fresh and fun and unique. That's Evan's face. Like,
It's kind of a volcano.
Mitch crashed into my volcano. Damn. But you know, just do something.
You see like the raccoon guy just holding his baby. Brush it off, like, oh shit.
And then
like a mummified version of
Tom Nook comes and says, I need 20 coins for that child. But I
wish Rafa was on for this section, because I don't know the significance of
I mean
the coffee shop opening. Like, apparently that's a thing. Like, I have no idea.
I wonder if
that means for
I wonder
I
if
don't know enough about it either.
I wonder if they'll go like, hey, we're taking all vegetables off the market, so his turnips no longer are worth of any value.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just think they need to do something that's more drastic, and I think they can. Will they? And that's the big question for me, because I do want them to find a reason for me to go back. That's what I would like to see.
Well, think about it this way: we're only a year and a half away from when it was released, so it's not that far. And this is the closest thing.
Seems like forever ago.
Well, this is like the closest thing that Nintendo has to an MMO. If they were to do some type of an expansion or like a massive DLC pack, after this update, maybe, year 2,
maybe go to the city,
drop a big expansion or something like that.
Like you sold your beach house and now you're going back to the city.
Maybe, yeah.
And then everyone's apartments are connected together, and you can like sneak into people's apartments. That'd be cool.
Fucking Steinfeld, let's go.
Yeah.
Sitcom, yeah, Animal Crossing, yeah. Netflix TV show, let's do it. What a bass line. It's so 90s, but I love it.
Anyways,
Animal Crossing.
What's the Arise? What's this Arise thing that I'm thinking of in my brain right now that we all want to talk about?
Thinking of ActRaiser? Renaissance?
There we go. That's what it is. What is it called?
ActRaiser Renaissance.
There you go. Talk about it, because I don't know what this is. So I'm just going to watch this trailer and have you speak to me.
So ActRaiser is an extremely difficult Super Nintendo, like early stage Super Nintendo game that came out that was published by Square and developed by Quintet.
Well, you sound like you know what you're talking about. I'll look it up while you're talking, though.
So Quintet was a developer back in the 90s that did Terra Enigma and like Illusion of Gaia and a bunch of these other games.
They did Illusion of Gaia? Okay.
I think so. I think so. If I'm remembering correctly.
Published by Enix before Squaresoft and Enix merged. Developed by Quintet, yeah. Okay.
So anyway, Quintet's like kind of a beloved cult developer that got absorbed into the Square machine. This is super fascinating. Shadow dropped. I was like, holy shit, watching it. Liam was really excited about it because apparently he loved the original ActRaiser game. And then, after the trailer out later today, just go ahead and download it. I might check this out. I will probably buy it on discount though. Square has this horrible fucking
God.
They have this horrible trend of pricing their games above what they should be priced at. So this is $30 US. This is a $20 game. Like, what the fuck are you doing, Square?
Like, what are you doing? Yeah. Thieves.
I
can't keep getting away with this.
But I do like the way it looks. I'm really interested to play it. The original game, I did horrible at. Like I never got anywhere in it because it was so difficult. But yeah, I don't know. Do you remember this game, Evan, at all?
Yeah, loved it as a kid. I watched my brother beat it. When that game came out, I was just like not good enough at games. I often watched my older brother play video games. Like I watched him play through Chrono Trigger and Secret of Mana. Eventually, I jumped into those games and played them myself. But I have lots of memories of like kind of looking over my brother's shoulder play these games, and I loved ActRaiser. It's nostalgia for sure. Does it hold up? I don't know. I loved it back in the day. And I just love the kind of town building aspect of it when you're the angel and you gotta destroy these demon holes and rebuild the town, and then you jump into like your kind of side scrolling, kind of action, kind of platformer-ish type of game. I love all of that stuff. I don't know, like this game looks like a fucking early PC game from the 90s. Like it looks like ass.
You think it looks bad?
And it looks terrible, man. And I watched again. Like I'm obsessed with watching reaction videos. I watched maybe like I think I said like 5 or 6 reactions from like Easy Allies to Giant Bomb to streamers reacting, and only one of them, maybe Giant Bomb did as well. I don't remember. Had commented on how bad this looks. Everyone else is just watching. And I'm like, do they have the same eyeballs, human eyeballs, as I do? This game looks terrible. I kind of still want to play it. But for like 500 yen or like $5-6,
Right.
it just looks so weird. There's something about the look of it. It looks like Diablo 2 a bit. Like I don't know, man. And you can switch between the original soundtrack and the upgraded one. Why can't I do like a Halo, like the Halo package edition where I can switch between the original game and this? Yeah, I think it looks like shit, to be honest with you, but I love ActRaiser. I'm not paying $30 for this. Absolutely not.
All right, yeah. The lowest you'll probably ever pay is 15. Square almost never goes below 50% discount on any of their games. So $15.
And if they don't, I'll just never buy it.
Yeah, $15. I might pick it up. We'll see.
If that's something you won't buy, Evan, I think I know something you will buy.
That's out right now.
Castlevania.
Right.
Do tell.
Yeah, Castlevania, the Advanced Collection.
Castlevania
right?
Advanced. Yeah. Jeremy Parrish put out a tweet, which I 100% agree with. If you're not a Castlevania fan, you just don't know what he's talking about. But I think he had said something like, so, Aria of Sorrow is really pulling the weight in this trilogy, huh? And he's right, because...
Yeah.
What's the first one called? They're all something of something. Lament of Innocence is the second one.
No, is it Circle of the Moon?
Circle of the Moon is the first one, and that's the cover art is the character from Circle of the Moon. Lament of Innocence is the second, and then the last one is Aria of Sorrow. Now, if this was...
No,
which one was
Harmony of Dissonance.
Yeah, Harmony of Dissonance.
Aria of Sorrow.
Harmony of Dissonance, no, that's...
Harmony
of Dissonance is the... that's like that weird Konami like multiplayer
Well, it's in the collection.
version of like, mixed... No, Dracula X is in the collection. Rondo of Blood.
Yeah, Dracula X
Which was originally a TurboGrafx CD game.
All right, so the Dracula X version is a bastardization of Rondo of Blood. It's not actually
the Super NES version.
Super
it sucks,
Nintendo version, yeah.
Why did they put that in there? It was never an advanced game. It's like a freebie. I actually wish it wasn't in there. I own that game on the Symphony of the Night Rondo of Blood collection that they put out on PlayStation 4. I own that game already, which most Castlevania fans do. So,
well, they offer a couple interesting quality of life features. They offer rewind. They offer quick save.
Quick save's cool. Rewind is unnecessary because those games are not. It's not like Ninja Gaiden where you miss a jump and you gotta fucking start over from the beginning of the game.
They're a lot closer to Symphony for sure.
Yeah, they have like RPG elements, right?
I will say, and I like to watch retrospectives because a lot of these franchises, like Castlevania, for example, I did not grow up with. So I have no idea about these games. So for me, I learned through the retrospectives how confusing this franchise is and how confusing it is to understand what game is what? Like, you just all named 3 different titles to me, and I have no idea where they fit within the Castlevania universe in regards to.
It kind of doesn't. It kind of doesn't matter, to be honest with you. But yeah, I get where you're coming from.
So it's very hard to jump into a Castlevania game in my brain at this moment. But anyways,
I would say don't worry about the any connective tissue between the games. It's mostly about the gameplay. I will say though, like, this advanced collection is welcome. However, if you want to talk about like top tier Castlevania games, it's the DS games that came out. So Aria of Sorrow, the sequel to that, came out on the DS, which was Dawn of Sorrow, and then Portrait of Ruin, and then Order of Ecclesia. Those 3 games are the only games that could even try to stand toe-to-toe with Symphony of the Night, not the advanced version. They were still figuring stuff out. That's the collection that I want, is those DS games, not this. Because Circle of the Moon is... It's not... like it's like Jeremy Paris said. Like, I agree with what he said. Aria of Sorrow is like the one game you should play out of that series.
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem for me is like all 3 of those games are all 30-hour investments.
It's a lot of hours. That's man. That's almost Persona 5, not Royal, just Persona 5.
Yeah, like
Dragon Quest 11.
Yes, and I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to buy that unless you already played. You're already a fan, and you're basically just getting into have it on a new system.
All right. Well, out of all the games that we showed off today, what is the one game that has you pumped? And what is the one game that has you scared? Burkoff, you can go first.
The one game that has me pumped is Triangle Strategy. I think it's probably obvious. The one game that has me scared. Pointed, maybe? Kirby? I'm really curious about Kirby. Like, I want that game to do well. I feel like the Kirby games, if nothing else, they're just fun. So if they can nail fun, I'll be happy.
Evan, what's the same question?
I'm most excited. You said pumped versus dumped. Is that what we're going with?
Pumped and scared. Sure. But
Pumped
if
you
want to, if you really want to dump, that's cool too.
Okay. Well, I have a haircut appointment in 17 minutes, so I gotta get out of here pretty soon. Shin Megami Tensei 5 is the one I'm most pumped for.
But it wasn't in this direct. It has to be in the direct.
No, it was in the montage.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count. It's gotta be featured. What was featured?
Dude, okay, I featured. What are the rules here? Like, I'm looking at the bottom of my contract, like section 21A. I went to nintendo.co.jp, and in that section they had a list of the games, and Shin Megami Tensei was shown in there. It wasn't even.
Okay.
I mean, all right. So I'm gonna change.
No, you can't change your answer. No. Hurry up.
Because I'm definitely buying SMT5 when it comes out.
Oh, so am I. But that's not gonna be my game. But anyways, what's your dump? What's your scared?
Okay, here's the thing.
Actually, what's the game that has you scared that you want to take a dump? That's what it is.
Fucking Kirby. I forgot the name. Forgotten names.
Forgotten last.
This looks bad, man. Like, they
it's
need
a horrible
to.
Title.
They need to crank up those graphics tighten up those graphics on level 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope it's good. And like Burkoff said, like, if it's fun, it's fun. And maybe it is fun, and I'm worrying too much. But just being able to turn it from 2.5D to 3D, like, which axis is it? The Y-axis? Which one am I? The X-axis? The Z-axis. Fuck, it's always the Z-axis.
Mm-hmm.
Just the Z-axis, yeah. Some of my students say, and I correct them. That's British English, which is incorrect.
Right.
The textbook is American English. Deal with it. Yeah, Kirby. And then my cheap answer is Shin Megami Tensei 5 because it looks good. It looks really good. But yeah, how about you, Mitch? Your pump and dump. It sounds wrong.
It
sounds
does.
wrong.
It sounds
What are you
bit.
pumped for, and what are you scared of?
I'm pumped for Splatoon 3. I was a little nervous about being like, okay, what could they do? But what I've seen so far is like, okay, they can be creative, still be creative with this franchise, that it does warrant making a third game. My dump is the Mario movie.
Okay, that's fair.
Not a bad dump.
I love the casting.
Yeah.
I'm just really nervous they're gonna fuck it up. Like it's
2 words. Chris
Pratt.
I mean, let's just be honest. They're going to fuck it up. We already have proof. It's called Super Mario Brothers.
But it's
and it was
called-
released
but-
back in '93.
I think the thing that may save this film is because it's being made by Illumination Entertainment, and that's a really good movie animation studio.
I mean,
it's
the animation
it's
is
just how
probably gonna
much it's just how much of Miyamoto is going to get his hands on these characters and how much power they give him to wield in regards to deciding what is going to and not make the movie. I think that is the X factor. That's the Kojima factor. It's the Miyamoto factor.
Maybe.
Come on, man. Chris Pratt, he's cool.
That's what Miyamoto says. Like, Miyamoto is tight with Chris Pratt like Kojima's tight with Norman Reedus.
That line about he's cool is a bit lost in translation, but that's a story for another time. It's often used in Japanese, but in a very different way. And I don't think they shouldn't have translated it
That way.
as he's cool, because it's not taken as the same way it means in Japanese to say someone's cool.
Okay.
Because everyone is making fun of it. But whatever. Yeah,
All
Chris
right.
Pratt, I don't know, man.
If there's anything we're going to leave you at the end of this show with, it is Chris Pratt, people. Chris Pratt.
Never forget. R.I.P. Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt, never forget.
Chris Pratt Memorial.
we'll
That's
mark
the name of my
this-
new indie band.
We'll mark this day forever with the death of the Mario movie with Chris Pratt as our maid of honor. Anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to Pixel Pints. We are a bunch of people that love to enjoy great beer and video games. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can find us at pixel_pints or on Instagram at pixelpintspod. If you want, excuse me, I'm so sorry, and I didn't even drink beer. But if you want to find us we stream live every single weekend here on Twitch at twitch.tv/pixelpints. Holy crap, I'm really throwing this off. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. Take your time. Take your time.
Roll it.
And it is archived every single time on Twitch. Or you can go to YouTube and find us at find us by looking up Pixel Pints, or anywhere you get your podcast services. Just look up Pixel Pints and you can enjoy us. We have so many episodes, so if you like us and you want to hear more of us, go listen to our archive, and we have some great episodes for you. But on that note, gentlemen, because Burkoff can't do it himself anymore, because I am the reigning master of the OBS, we are
The stream.
out.
I can't really hear the music, but I'm bobbing my head like I can.
Here you go, Burkoff. Here we go. Ready and go.
Oh, you weren't playing it already? You're just waiting? Oh shit, okay.
It's already switched. They can't even see us.